Well, hello. Welcome to the Great American It is not the American Stampin' Show. Stop it, Salva. Welcome to the Great North American Stampin' Show. You are at Stampin' Shine with Julie Salva. I am Julie Salva, and I am glad that you are deliberately here. I used to say I'm glad you kind of stumbled into my corner of the internet, but now I'm saying no, you chose to be here. So thank you. Anyway, you will see I have no crown on. Week 2 that I have not won. And I'm telling you, the competition is fierce. I will say Lisa Bowden won last week in Egypt. How do you win from Egypt? She actually did a project ahead of time, and it was so cute. So if you didn't see it, go back and look. It was the Baking Spirits Bright stamp set. I think that's what it's called. Nonetheless, it was a super cute project. So, and Jody and Lauren, I mean, everybody's projects are really good. So, we're having to up our game. Hey, I need to tell you guys something. You want a sneak peek? You want a sneak peek of one of the projects that you're going to make in the Great North American Stampin' Show mini retreat in a box? I can't show you all of it because they told me I couldn't. But I can show you some of it. This is one of the projects. What is it, Julie? What is it? Well, maybe a belly band comes off. And maybe inside, maybe we do a book, but not a scrapbook. Maybe we put gift cards in here. Maybe we put notes in here. Maybe we put things we like about people in here. You are going to get every supply you need, plus all the instructions, plus 8 cards, plus another 3D. I'm telling you guys, this is the thing. You want to sign up for this. So, Traditions and Treasures, I've got the link in the description. That is a bug in here. I've got a link in the description so that you can sign up. Don't miss it. It's going to be a great, great, great little treat that heads your way. So anyway, let's talk about this week. This week we were inspired by page 49. Page 49 in the Stampin' Up! Holiday Idea Book. We've got a slimline card. We've got a shaker card. And then we have a card that is just pretty simple, but features some designer series paper. You can see, there you go. There you go. You can see that. This is the one that I was inspired by. And here's my project. So let's get to making. All right. So like I told you, we are inspired by the layouts on page 49 this month. This month, it's not a month, it's a week. Feels like a month. This week. So if you look closely, you can see you've got a slimline card. You've got a, looks like a little, like, I don't know, another card. And then this card. And this is a pretty simple card. It's just got, some of the DSP and a focal point. And actually that's the one I chose to do because I knew what stamp set I wanted to use. So what I'm using is one that has been on my mind a while, but I have not used it yet. Festive Friends. Now I got to tell you, I looked at these guys for a while. I can't decide. Well, I did decide. I couldn't decide if they were the new Turtley Cute or not. But they're not. They're super cute, and I am having a big time playing with them. So much so, you guys are probably going to see them down the way. They have dies that coordinate with them. And you can see the dies. And the thing I love about these dies is that all of the little folks, the little Santa and the elf and the snowman have dies. There's a fantastic tag die there. You've got some Christmas tree dies, some snowflakes, a really fun retro diamond die. So it's a great set to work with. And like I said, you're probably gonna see it again. So I'm gonna set it aside and show you the project we're getting ready to make. So I've got my little elf. Isn't he cute? Look at all the little detail on this card. And again, I'll hold it up and you can see, let me move that light there. There we go. You can see you've got some focal points here that I carried over to this. So let me show you how we're gonna make it. So we're gonna start off with real red. I've cut it down to 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm just gonna fold it in half. Say it with me. Why? Because I'm lazy. That's why we're not scoring. So folding that in half. I have then taken a piece of 4 by 5.25 real red as well, and I have run it through what is quite literally one of my very favorite new projects in the whole, or new items in the whole entire catalog. And it is the Christmas Words hybrid embossing folder. Take a gander here. I have told you guys one thing you might see again soon, and this is another one. So this embossing folder is a thick embossing folder. It has all the words that you would associate with the holidays: Christmas, merry and bright, 'tis the season, good tidings. I tried to say that with an English accent. It didn't happen. And then it has, as a hybrid folder, some coordinating die cutting as well. And I'm not going to talk about that right now because that'll come later. So anyway, I just used the folder for today. All right. And so that gives me a little bit of texture, interest, fills in some of the dull spaces there. Now, the paper that I chose to use is actually a fantastic set of paper called Christmas Tags and More. And I want to show you, it's a 6x6 set. So you have this really fun Christmas plaid, cute Christmas little star snowflakes. You've got the ornaments, and you can keep just the ornaments, or you can use that border. And then this is a nice neutral. You've got, okay, so I'm in the South. To me, this looks like magnolia buds, and I'm like, that's not Christmas, but I'm sure it's Christmas somewhere. And then again, this image, you have these tags that you can cut apart, 6 tags here. And what's on the back of those tags? I forget. Oh, one of the best, the gingham. Love that gingham. And then there's some die cuts that come with this as well. So I love the paper, so I thought, I am using it. It is a fun Christmas paper. This is a fun Christmas set, so that's what we're playing with. So I took the plaid and I cut it down to 2 inches by 5 1/4. And I am going to adhere that right here, kind of toward the left or the right side a little bit, maybe the other left, right? Not the other left, right? The other left. Correct. Oh, I can go all night on that, folks. Okay, so we've got that. Then I took the flip side, DSP, and that's the green with the little, it could be a snowflake star, whatever you want it to be. I cut these to 1 1/2 by 4, and I'm going to kind of layer them just like the picture was. Okay, let me show you again so you can see. Just like that picture, and you can see those two. Why is it so hard to see there? I don't know. Anyway, there are 2. So you can see those right there. So I'm going to go on and adhere that. Work with me. See, oh, no. Do not act up, Stampin' Seal. Not today. Not in front of the people. Okay? Not in front of the people. All right. We're going to see if this works. So if this happens to you, okay, just undo it and kind of rewind it. Remember back in the day when we had cassette tapes? The youngsters don't know, but we do. We do. Kind of wind it the same way that you would your cassette tape. And hopefully that'll work. Work, work, work. Work, work. Work, work. Didn't work, throwing it away. Getting my Stampin' Seal Plus. You get 1 chance, Seal. You blew it. All right. So this is going to go over on a diagonal, just kind of eyeballing, okay? But this is one of my favorite things. Mixing, well, you guys know, mixing patterns, adding some texture with the embossing folder. And I know right now you're like, Julie, I bet you $1 bajillion. That's a lot. I bet you $1 bajillion you're going to do something with linen thread down the road. Well, guess what? You would be correct. But before we do, I want to show you this. This is crumb cake. This is one of the die cuts that comes in the Festive Friends bundle. This is that cute tag I told you about. I'm going to show it to you here so you can see it a little bit better. But I went ahead and I die cut the tag. And look at that really great little diamond accent there. That's a fun touch. And I appreciate the Stampin' Up people for doing that. Okay, so I have the elf. I'm going to stamp the elf and then color him in. Now, for the sake of time, I want you to see, I've already done it. I've already done it. So let's talk about this, though, just so you guys know what I colored him with. We used light real red. We used some dark real red, and you kind of see the contrast there a little bit, okay? I used Old Olive. Actually, no, that's not true. I used Granny Apple Green. Granny Apple Green. Much to my dismay, Stampin' Up! Does not have a garden green blend. I have heard you can combine a dark lemon lime twist and a dark Granny Apple Green, and you can get a garden green. I tried it, kind of worked, but not enough for me to move away from this. I used pecan pie for the hair. And then for my little fella's body there, did you know that Stampin' Up! Has blends in ivory? It's a 2-pack, okay? So you don't have 2 ivories, like a light and a dark, like winter and summer. But you have an ivory and a bronze that come together. So I've recently gotten these, and that's really helping me on skin tone. So I've gone ahead and colored my little elf. What do we want to name him? I like Herbie. I know that was in a movie, but I like it. Okay, we have some other dies that come here. I know you're like, Julie, are you going to stamp anything? Maybe, maybe. We have 2 other dies that come here. We've got these 2 Christmas tree dies. So let's go on and adhere those. What I will do, I kind of want to adhere it off a little bit. Okay. And because this is such a, let's see one on that side. Just put a little dab of adhesive here, and it'll hold it good enough for this. So I'm going to put this tree kind of hanging off my tag a little bit. And then this tree, you look at it here. Now this looks like gargantuan elf, right? So I wanted my tree to be taller. So what I'm doing is I'm going to attach the trees, and I just use a garden green scrap for this. But see, now I got a tall Christmas tree, all right? And that's what I wanted. I suppose I could have cut off the little trunk, but no one's going to see it. So let's adhere this to the tag as well. And I'm going to kind of set it off center a little bit. Okay. Good. And then Herbie is going to be adhered using Stampin' Dimensionals. So what do you think? I mean, this is cute so far, right? I'm listening to you say, it really is, Julie. I'm very impressed. I mean, that's what I think you're saying right now in my mind. I'm like, well, you're welcome. I'm here to please. Okay? All right. So I've got my tag here. Now, I have to have some kind of ribbon and whatnot in my tag. So I'll put that on in a minute. I'll show you guys how I did that. Well, actually, I better put it on now, because if I glue it down, that just makes it tricky. Okay, so ribbon scissors, love them. Stampin' Up! Needs to bring those back. Dear Stampin' Up!, please bring back the ribbon scissors. Shiny red ribbon. Okay, shiny red ribbon. And I'm going to put my tag down now. Why am I putting my tag down when I've done nothing with the ribbon? Because what I'm going to do next is a little tip for you. So I'm going to take some, wait for it, da-da, linen thread. I'm going to take some linen thread and do my traditional double bow. And I'm going to tie it right around this shiny red here. So I think that's a good look. It kind of ties the crumb cake in. And honestly, I can't have like a big piece of ribbon or anything going here. This tag, it would go off the card and it would kind of distract from everything else. So this is the technique I'm using here. So if you'll just sit back and relax, this will probably take me about an hour and a half. Oh, but no. Okay, there we go. All right, I will now tie my bow. Look there. Look at there. All right, and then I'm going to finagle. So I was messaging Jody, one of my Great North American Stampin' Show buddies. You guys are watching her videos too. Very good. And I said, so we were talking about something. She's like, so how do you do it? And I'm like, make it catty-wonk. She's like, I don't know what catty-wonk means. So I went to the Urban Dictionary and told her catty-wonk is when things are kind of crooked a little bit, kind of off kilter, off center. And now she knows. So my bow here looks a little catty-wonk, but that's exactly how I like it. Okay, I need a sentiment, all right? And so for my sentiment, I used yet another die from this bundle. And it's just kind of a cute sentiment bundle. You remember the tags that you would put on Christmas gifts, like the stickers? That's what that kind of reminds me of. I've gone ahead and run it through the Big Shot. Whether I can stamp this straight is another story. If I can't, then I might run it through the Big Shot again. Normally I stamp and then I stamp and then I run it through, but I'm gonna try this. So, we wish you a Merry Christmas. That's not, hey, that is not bad, people. Not bad, okay? So there's my sentiment. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And I am going to use dimensionals on that. I know you're like, Julie, how are you going to get the end down with the dimensional? Because it seems to me like that's really skinny. So look at here. I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to grab a pair of my snips. And I'm just going to go like in this corner here and cut a skinny piece of dimensional. And wait, what is up with the hair, you guys? I am sorry. And then just stick that on the end, like so. Sometimes we think outside the box here at Stamp and Shine with Julie Salva. Okay, there's one for the other side. I'm gonna sing some more. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay. Come here, buddy. All right, there we go. All right, good. Peel this backing off. And then this will go kind of off kilter, like so. It's coming together, really cute. I'm going to add some embellishments. These are the deer dots. And so they've got red, the blush, the pool party, and the green. And so this is garden green. So I'm going to use this and I might take a pick tool. I like the garden green. What I like to do, and I'm trying to figure out where do I want to put gems. Sometimes I will kind of go in where there's a gap, you know, like there is a gap between these two places. And then I do still want to go on my diagonal. I think that's important. So I'll put this one. I was going to put it there, but that wouldn't be good. Okay, right there. All right, so this is my card front. Now remember, you guys might have forgotten, I still had my card base, right? That I went ahead and folded. So I am going to do something fun in there. I'm going to take garden green again. So this is just one color of ink for this. And I'm going to take the Christmas tree. I'm going to put Herbie the Elf up right now. And stamp the Christmas tree in the corner here. Nice. Not real nice. I just said nice to try to convince you guys it would be nice. It wasn't nice at all. It was splotchy, and I had a little bit. Now it's a little nicer. Okay. So I've got the Christmas tree there in the corner, and I also cut 1/4 inch by 3.5 inches that I'm going to put right down here. Tip for you. In your inserts, normally, especially if you are a veteran card maker, we cut 4 by 5 1/4 to make our inserts, right? Well, if you want to get an extra insert out of a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, cut it to 3 by 5.5. And then instead of getting 4 inserts out of a piece of paper, you will get 5. You're welcome. Okay, so there we go. There's my inside. Time to put on my card cover. And Herbie and his trees and all of his accoutrements say, we wish you a Merry Christmas. So here's my sample again. What do you think? So what do you think? Herbie the Elf? I think he's pretty cute. you're going to see him again. That's like the third time I've said that. Anyway, I hope you love this project. So you know the drill. Here's what you do. You are going to go to the description. You're going to get the links to Jody, Lisa, and Lauren's projects. You're going to watch their projects. And then the project that you like the best, you are going to click thumbs up for. And we will know Sunday night who the winner is. Let me tell you this. I really do appreciate you guys stopping by. I really, really do. And if you find that this YouTube channel is of value to you, maybe it's valuable because you get great projects. Probably not. Maybe it's valuable to you because you like Stampin' Up. Probably. Maybe it's valuable to you because you're like, what in the world is Salva going to do next? Now we're hitting something. I would love it if you would subscribe and if you'd share. I also have links to my email subscription list in the description and all sorts of ways that you can find me online. So, hey, thanks again. You have a fantastic night. And Julie Salva signing off. Bye-bye, guys.